Find part of a group using unit fractions. Lesson 8.8. Essential question. How can a fraction tell how many are in part of a group? Before we begin, let's review a vocabulary term. A number that names one equal part of a whole and has 1 as its numerator is a unit fraction. Look at the example below. 1/4 is a unit fraction because there is a 1 in the numerator. In this lesson, the problem of finding 1/4 of a group of 12 can be modeled by a group of 12 objects that has been separated into 4 smaller groups. Each of the smaller groups has 3 objects. You may notice that this group looks similar to the arrays and equal groups that we made when we were multiplying and dividing whole numbers. Let's take another look at this diagram. Our total number of objects is 12. We are placing these objects, or counters, into equal groups of 4. When we finish, the total number of groups we want to count is 1. So there are 3 counters in each group, so 1/4 of 12 is 3. Now let's take a look at this problem. Audrey buys a bouquet of 12 flowers. 1/3 of them are red. How many of the flowers are red? There are 12 counters on my math board. Since I want to find 1/3 of the group, there should be 3 equal groups. Remember, we want to find 1/3, or 1 out of the 3 equal groups. So 1 group has been circled. Now when I count the number of counters in that group, I see there are 1, 2, 3, 4 counters in the group. So 1/3 of 12 equals 4. Therefore, 4 of the flowers are red. What if Audrey buys a bouquet of 9 flowers and 1/3 of them are yellow? I am going to use my math board and counters to find how many of the flowers are yellow. First, I am going to write 1/3 of 9 because there are 9 flowers and 1/3 of them are yellow. Since I want to find 1/3 of 9, I must arrange the 9 counters into 3 equal groups. I will begin by making a row of 3 counters. Remember that a row goes across. I will continue to make as many rows of 3 counters as I can until I have 9. Then I will circle 3 equal groups. Each group represents 1/3 of the flowers. I have 3/3 altogether. 1, 2, 3. But I only want to look at 1/3. When I look at only one of the thirds, I see that there are 1, 2, 3 in the group. So there are 3 yellow flowers in Audrey's bouquet. Now try this problem with me. Joseph picks 20 flowers from his mom's garden. 1/4 of them are purple. How many of the flowers are purple? Remember, we want to find 1/4 of 20. We will begin by drawing a row of 4 counters. Next, we will continue to draw as many rows of 4 counters as we can until we have 20 counters. Then we will circle 4 equal groups. Remember, we only want to look at one of the 4 groups. So by looking at one of the 4 groups, I see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counters in one group. 1/4 of 20 equals 5. So Joseph picks 5 purple flowers. Now would be a good time to pause the video and try these on your own before continuing. Then restart the video to check your work. In number 1, there are 6 flowers, and we are going to place them into 3 equal groups. 1, 2, 3. When I look at one of those 3 groups, I see that there are 2 flowers. So 1/3 of 6 equals 2. Now let's take a look at number 2. There are 12 flowers altogether for number 2. And we want to split them into 6 equal groups. Then we will look at one of those 6 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now when I look at one of the groups, I can see that there are 2 flowers in the group. So 1/6 of 12 equals 2. Well, that's all for this lesson. If you need any more help with flowers, maybe Alice can help. Bye now.